What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be reacting to the teaser trailer for the new Superman movie coming this summer. We're excited for it. The trailer is a different tone, so we have a little bit to kind of react to with that. And there's some fun moments in it. It's a fun conversation. We talk about Marvel, DC. We get into a lot of it. Now that we've talked about that, I just wanted to ask you guys that if you do like the channel, if you do like our content and you want to support us, please consider subscribing. It's free. It's the best way to show your love and support. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, comment below who wins in a fight, Marvel or DC. And with all of that out of the way, let's jump into the video. Hold on, intro. It's intro time. Shush, everyone shut up. What we're going to be talking about in the next segment, we are going to be talking about the Superman teaser that came out. Cody, you were talking about how this is basically just the first 5 minutes of the film.
The teaser that came out of some con that just went down is the first 5 minutes of the film. So
Superman CinemaCon footage leaves audiences with one question: can James Gunn deliver the hit DC and Warner Brothers developments need? Okay. What this trailer did, so we are not going to be able to play the full trailer just because Warner Brothers is an absolute bitch when it comes to like copyright. We'll go and try to do a frame by frame breakdown for you guys so we could try to at least talk about it.
Well, it's basically the trailer that we got, you know, where Superman lands in the ice and the dog comes along.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the entire first 5 minutes. He goes back to the palace, gets healed, blah blah blah.
Yeah, and we saw that in the original trailer where he crash lands, and then this is actually kind of hard to navigate like this. So yeah, he crash lands. He's sitting there in the snow, and in the first trailer, the themes were off, or the themes were different. So in the first trailer, you had a really dark theme where it was kind of like he's going to be struggling, but he's also going to be a character that brings like hope to the universe and going to be kind of that symbol. But you had a lot of society turning against him. It looked like he had a bit of self-doubt in the trailer, and in this one it's really a lot more uplifting where you have the dog. He whistles in calls the dog in. The thing flies across the screen and then just starts jumping on the guy and starts like messing with him.
Yeah, this is a self-insert from James Gunn too. He's like, he told a story about his dog and how his dog was like nipping at his heels and jumping all over him, blah blah. So James Gunn's doing a lot of self-inserts here, like Crypto. It's supposed to look like James Gunn's dog. You know who James Gunn is, Tyson?
I do.
Okay,
so just for the audience who doesn't know, though,
Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
and he nailed that series.
Guardians?
Yeah,
I'd say so.
Yep, I would say there wasn't a way to do Guardians of the Galaxy much better. But yeah, so
how do you how would you say he is qualified to run the DC universe?
DC fucking needs it.
We need to have this conversation.
Does it need to be Marvelized, or
it needs more hints of Marvel, which in this first 5 minutes I can already see he's doing it.
We're gonna play like 10 seconds of
begging
this
for something new in DC.
Like, okay, so he calls in Crypto, he just jumps on him, starts bouncing all over him and stuff, and just starts messing with him while he's laying there broken bones on the ground.
It's relatable if you have a 2-year-old dog or something.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. But I think this is actually like this. Okay, so Cody and Tyson to the audience.
Dog, by the way.
What's that?
That's not his dog, by the way.
Crypto?
It's Supergirl's dog. Supergirl is in this movie.
But Crypto is not Superman's dog. It's Supergirl's dog.
I'm pretty sure it's hers. Yeah. From the shit that I've heard.
I'm not going to be the one to fact check that. It doesn't sound right, but I could be. But
no facts to check. It's all hearsay.
Right. I have no idea. And there's going to be a canon answer to this question. So I mean, there's going to be a canon answer. I just don't know it. But what you do see out of these frames here is that the Crypto is CGI, and there's no way you needed that. Like, just put another dog in a costume and try to like. They have screen dogs. Why does every single thing have to be CGI in this?
You put your dog in a cape and see how it reacts.
I would love that. I would love to see that. First off, my dog is old enough that she's just gonna stay lay down and just like maybe use it as a blanket or chew on it.
It's like, oh, you're putting a blanket on me. That's nice.
But you two, Tyson and Cody, you kind of have like opposite opinions on this that I've this is conversations I've had with Cody and conversations I've had with you about DC. So the difference between Marvel and DC is that Marvel is a brighter universe. It is more uplifting, or at least a more medium tone, whereas DC is a darker, grittier like more tragic universe.
Past Marvel has been more jokey, and past DC has been more dour.
Yeah, and to me, it's a personal preference thing. I personally do not preference DC and their boring ass movies.
Well, I think okay. So, is there a DC film you did like?
They make good movies.
Yeah,
but I'll watch them once and I'll go,
not
wow.
again.
No. I saw enough and it was fine. Like the Superman movies, the
Man of
Superman
Steel
versus Batman. Yeah, like the Henry Cavill stuff it was good, but
not rewatchable.
There's nothing. I'm a big Lightheart guy, and as what Marvel has shown is that you can have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, for example, very dark, with lighthearted moments. And that to me makes a fun, good movie.
Yeah, that's a good example where you can have like darker, more like grounded tones and not be so jokey all the goddamn time.
Yeah, but
still throwing.
It's fun.
And still be. I won't say it's fun.
Have
you rewatched it recently?
Well, there's jokes that open the fucking door. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's the one. That's the big joke. Well, I mean, there's more jokes. I'm not saying there's only one joke.
Like
I'm
first
saying
F word in Marvel history.
Yeah. But there is a fine line that you can just like skate on.
Yeah.
To where it comes.
Well, good storytelling. If you build up too much tension, you need to relieve it somewhere.
Well, they tried to do that. They tried to do the Marvel thing with the release of Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Yeah.
That was the original Justice League that dropped in 2017.
Oh, I didn't see that. It was DC, so I no.
Oh, okay.
But maybe I'll give it a watch.
They tried to Marvelize it and whatnot, and it tanked horribly. And everyone's like, "Release the Snyder Cut."
Yep.
Because it was more along the lines of shit that came before. I don't know if it's really what we need or anything, but
the Snyder Cut was much better. It was infinitely better, so much better. The noir version. I watched the noir version. It was fantastic because you had that and Logan that both did the noir thing, which was so cool, and I really liked it.
Black and white version of it.
Yeah, it was awesome. The contrast, the details. I mean, this was when like 4K technology was still kind of young. It wasn't brand new. It'd been out for a bit, but they were figuring out how to make it as like really good. And you had a lot of like, I had a pretty much maxed out setup for what I could get at the time. And it looked awesome. I thought it looked so good.
4K black and white.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Justice League and Logan were
get along.
It seems counterintuitive.
Well, 4K is just the resolution. It has nothing to do with color. And then, but
counterintuitive.
Anyway, no, well, like, I would like Marvel to do their just joke, whatever, do their thing, and then DC, I would like it to be more serious tone, but it doesn't have to be so like dour or whatever that you had problems with, or it's like this isn't fun. It's just sad.
Yeah, I cry enough at home. I don't need to go to a 2.5 hour cry fest.
Right.
I think that you have a lot of I think that when it gets to be more of a comedy skit in Marvel, I think it feels lifeless. I mean, I might get a chuckle. So like Thor: Love and Thunder is a movie that made a bunch of people laugh, but that movie was absolutely awful. It was a bad film.
It's like Ragnarok. Ragnarok was great.
Ragnarok was great, had funny moments, but it had serious moments too.
Yeah.
It just none of them had a payoff.
And it developed the character and whatnot.
Yeah.
Instead of just making a joke of the entire fucking film, like Thor: Love and Blunder.
They ruined Thor with the character development, and I think Chris did a great job with character development.
Yep. Oh yeah. None of that's on him. None of that's on him.
Man, did they wreck probably the greatest character
and the strongest.
He's the saddest character in all of Marvel. He lost everything multiple times.
But he's a god.
Yeah, he lost everything multiple times.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean,
toughen up, bud.
Like, we're gonna
have some perspective.
We're gonna redo this story 100 times over.
Every single person has at some point in their life felt like they've lost everything or will.
Cry less.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
eventually it gets better, right?
Fat Thor was fun in the cinema.
He had Natalie Portman. He can cry less. He's fine.
Yeah.
And then he started screaming at kids on Fortnite.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was fun for a second, and then it was like, oh, you're just gonna be the Big Lebowski.
Well, you know that the character that he was yelling at in what was it, Endgame? Was that Endgame where he was yelling at him? that is an actual character that's made appearances. Like he's canonical in Marvel. That gamer, the gamer tag. He was the Best Buy. No, he was was it Apple Store in the Captain America movie where where Captain America and the Black Widow Scarlett Johansson go to like this tech store and they're on the computer. He's the tech guy who walks. New Master. Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Was he really?
Yeah, it's
okay.
You don't see that in DC.
Hold on. Let me be
because none of those movies mesh.
Let me make sure that I'm just like the answer is yes. I'm positive that is the character. If I'm wrong, it's a similar character that I'm getting mixed up. But yes, yes, he is that guy.
You could just gaslight us and just believing that's true.
Well, it is true.
You don't have to back.
New Master makes multiple appearances in Marvel. You can look that up. I'm pretty certain he's that tech guy from the store. But it could be I could be getting him mixed up with someone else. But yes, New Master does make multiple appearances in Marvel. When it comes to DC and it comes
to his own fandom page.
Yeah, I told you he's a thing. I told you. First off, can you check me because I'm curious now if I missed anything up on that?
Shit, I wouldn't fandom, so it's a bunch of advertisements.
The talking about the movie though with DC, I was really expecting this to be a little bit darker of a film when it came to the Superman movie, and I was kind of hoping for that a little bit because I am not on Cody's page when it comes to like we needed a lighthearted Superman. I'm like we need a tragic Superman who has going through something.
Well, I'd say a lighthearted Superman. It could still be like a story of just like hope. That's all I've ever said really. It's just like Superman represents hope.
Mm-hmm.
And they pull it off brilliantly with like the score.
Yep.
And whatnot. But like it doesn't need to be as dark as Zack Snyder's DC. It doesn't need to be as jokey and retarded as the Marvel universe. It can just be like a
Aquaman. Make another movie like Aquaman.
I would say, okay, hold on. He's right on this point because like Aquaman, the issue that Cody's going to say about Aquaman is that it was a lowest common denominator film. There was nothing about Aquaman that actually like was risen to a level of like amazing storytelling.
No.
It was an action film, had a very simple plot to follow, had some jokes in it, so it had a pretty good balance. It had him losing his mom, and there was some tragedy in that. So and Jason Momoa did a good job playing the role he was given. But the movie itself is, I mean, I think Cody and I both want more from DC. I think what I would probably say is we need something more along the long lines of, I've made this point before. Constantine is the only starting point for the DC universe that makes any sense.
Constantine's DC?
You're gonna be in like I can't disagree with you or anything because I know more about DC than the general audience and whatnot, but general audience is not gonna agree with you. The starting point needs to be Superman, and obviously it's gonna be Superman for the new DC EU.
Yep.
To where it's like it. So it's gonna be hard for James Gunn because like he's coming off of Marvel, joke, going to DC where it's been dour and all this shit. And he's got to create a whole new universe, which he's already doing wrong, in my opinion, because all the shit that he has planned. But yeah, it needs to be like the where it's like he started off the universe where superheroes already exist. They're already going. It's almost like the Invincible.
No origin stories. They're just everyone's there, and everyone's there. This is the setting.
Superheroes are going rampant and whatnot, and it's almost like The Boys or whatever, to where I wouldn't say quite to that extent, but it's like The Boys to where it's like
pre-established.
There's heroes running amok or whatever, and Superman comes in, and he's the beacon of hope. He's the beacon of like, hey, we should do better. And so,
yeah,
I like that starting point, but it's like going off of that.
Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
I mean, you just have a bad guy show up and the heroes deal with it. That's going to be the plot of every movie in the DC universe going forward. There's not going to be any origin stories, or at least no like phenomenal origin stories where we have a breakout of something spectacular.
It's going to be story of Damian Wayne.
Oh, that would actually be kind of cool. But if they don't do Dick Grayson properly in this, I'm just instantly out.
Doing Dick Grayson.
Not in the current lineup, but I mean, it's longer than a 10-year franchise. If they do what they're planning on doing,
it's not gonna be.
It'll fail. It'd be good if they didn't fail, but yeah. The what we need from DC as a starting point is we need Constantine as a starting story. We need Superman to exist in the DC universe, but he should be on screen as little as possible. He should be minimally used. You should have every other more grounded character exist and have the interactions. Basically, just a friendly reminder, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. It is free. It's the best way to show your support and to help us grow. You can also always change your mind later. And if you haven't already, smash that like button to help us reach further out into that YouTube algorithm. Comment your thoughts on the video so far below. And if you haven't already, go check out the merch store. Links in the description. Got a lot of cool stuff in there. I think you guys are really going to enjoy. With that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Not involve Superman at all until there's some like apocalypse level event that they have to deal with. So, and then it should be like an Avengers thing where it's Justice League. So Snyder was onto something, but the focus on Superman was the mistake. He is the most powerful, and you're not giving any ground to any of the other characters. Justice League, like the Justice League movie where he was dealing with that, with the oh damn it, I don't want to get stuck here. I want to Darkseid, when they were dealing with Darkseid's minion in Justice League. They were losing and then they just call in Superman and game over, they win. And I'm just like, they need to not use Superman as much as possible. And they need to focus on the other characters that are... DC has a huge catalog of expansive characters that are all interesting and all super fun, but they always focus on the least interesting character, Superman, who has like one weakness as a rock, super boring for television, or super boring for the silver screen. He has very little character development to like explore narratively on screen, and I think Henry Cavill did the best job with that. I don't think we're gonna get a better retelling of like of his family and the interactions there. So we need John Constantine as the starting point, so that you can see the powers of magic in the world and the powers of mortals and like how the mortals work in the world. Honestly, something like Doom, where it's like Constantine Batman partner up, would be a really interesting starting point.
Do you think it would have been fun to have Keanu Reeves?
No.
Do Constantine 2? And
no.
That starts off the...
I know.
That would have been fun.
Him coming back can't fix it. Keanu Reeves...
Just starting off.
Yeah, right. I still think no. I think there are...
Because in this, there's already like portal dimension. They're already starting off this universe with fucking different dimensions.
Yeah, yeah.
That.
Yep.
So it's like, could have been fun to have another Keanu Reeves start off this DCEU.
Finding an actor who appears like Constantine is easy. Now then you find a good actor. Then you work with that pool. You find the best actor you can for it. If Keanu Reeves came back, it's all the novelty of the old movie with none of the substance of the old movie. So it's all of this. It's all the pomp and pampus of it. It's not good, and so it's just going to piss people off. It'd be a bad starting point. I love Keanu Reeves. I have no like issues with him whatsoever playing in almost any role. But if he came back, it would only hurt the first movie, which to me is a cult classic. And I would not want to lose any. I would not want the first movie to be in any way affected by Keanu Reeves returning.
It introduced me to Pucifer.
True.
It's a band.
Boo.
Sounds like a good one.
What do you? Okay, but
lead singer from Tool.
But anyway. this is a development of my opinion evolved a little bit on this.
No one would ever, in the right mind, start off the universe the way you want to with Constantine, because Constantine is such a niche character that no one knows about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like my opinion just evolved in real time in front of you, where I thought it should be just a Constantine movie, but Doom would actually be a really interesting starting point with Batman and Constantine. Batman gets people in theaters, Constantine gives people the substance, and he would be the main character of the film. That would be an interesting concept. The Doom films are some of the best animated. The Doom movies are some of the best DC animated films we got. So I think Constantine Batman partner up would be a really good way to keep a Justice League member in the movie while still having Constantine be the founding or the starting point of the universe. Where he's kind of like the Doctor Strange, relatively the Doctor Strange.
Well, I think Batman should be the go-to of a starring universe. But in James Gunn's universe, there currently is no Batman, nor have they casted for it, and they don't know what they're doing with the Batman franchise. So it's like
or Penguin,
as a normie,
hopefully getting a new director.
No.
Robert Pattinson's the Batman. You didn't like that one?
I didn't. Boring.
Yeah. So it's like, all right. So we have the success of the Penguin.
Can I just say I would?
No, you can't.
I felt like I was wearing shades during that entire Batman movie.
That's cool.
That's fair. No, it's a dark movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not enough. I mean, like, here's the thing. There's a reason they do that. Like, the cinematography is designed like that because the setting is darker. Like,
you might be stepping into defending episode or season 8 of Game of Thrones, the war.
no, because I'm
like,
defending good cinematography,
yeah.
not bad cinematography. I'm defending good thing, not bad thing.
I know you guys like that movie, but if you ask me, that was the worst Batman ever made.
Oh, man, dude.
Even worse than Batman and Robin.
I guess I never saw it.
That's a little before his time.
I haven't seen all of the
It's-
Batmans.
no,
Once you see Christian Bale, you've seen enough.
You've
It's been
seen-
great.
Seen them all.
You've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger as Freeze, right?
I can picture it. I feel like I've seen a glimpse of it probably on TikTok or something.
I told you, dude.
Not even that much
Dude,
younger.
Those predate him. Those are like late 90s.
Yeah,
They're not going to be a film that, like, no, I
I'm
mean,
not going back to the 90s to watch Batman.
yeah, you
No,
shouldn't. There's not better. They're not better. They're worse.
Yeah.
There's an animated Batman Beyond movie that was great, but
Fair enough.
like, all right, so like starting the DC EU off, and you don't have a Batman. Would you rather start with a Superman or a Batman?
That's tough to say because
You want hope?
the Batman movies are so successful and you want to get a new one. You want to get it started out.
But the problem is,
Right away.
the same company already has a Batman that's currently ongoing.
I know.
And they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
well, okay, but that's not actually that shouldn't impact too much. There's always been background Batman projects. Always. There's always been a Batman animated series while they were doing movies. There's always been Batman animated films. There's always been other Batman projects.
There hasn't been the Dark Knight that hasn't been like, all right, say the Dark Knight comes out and is a huge gangbuster, and it's like, all right, we're gonna start off the DCEU. It's like, oh fuck, we already got established Batman. What the fuck do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
That's the point that we're at with Matt Reeves and his Batman and the Penguin and all that shit. It's like, all right, we already have this established thing. Batman did good, and it didn't do great, but it did good. The Penguin blew the fuck up on streaming services.
That's true.
And now we're about to start our new DCEU. Like, what the fuck do we do with Batman?
What you
It's
need
like, we want to continue Matt Reeves because we can make money off of that one.
Well, what you do with this is you create
I think he's going through a divorce right now too. That's why we haven't got a script or anything.
The answer is you create a subsidiary. Warner Brothers creates a spin-off company, and the only role of the spin-off company is the DCEU. That's the only role of the spin-off company, and then you license Batman to the DCEU like studio. And they do that whilst Warner Brothers does what they want to do with the Batman project. So that's what you do. It's the same way you can make a Flash movie while having the Arrowverse on the CW or on Netflix.
Yeah, but no one watch that.
I know. I'm not saying it's the I'm saying this is how you would do it on a practical level. You would spin off a studio, you'd have them work on the DCEU while you continue to make the Robert Pattinson and the Penguin and all of that stuff. That's how you do it on a practical level. I'm not saying the quality will be good or bad.
Well, you can't do that because the Penguin takes place in the Batman's universe, and that blew the fuck up to the popularity of no one even expected it to.
Oh, yeah.
Warner Brothers is like, I didn't expect this thing to fucking blow up this much.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hear me out.
Yep.
You ready? I am going to make a prediction on this movie.
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah. So I think what they end up doing to start out the new DCU or whatever, that Ice Crystal Place is whatever the Justice Leagues get together, right?
No, that's the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
And it will be the Justice Leagues get together.
It won't. So this is Superman's own home base. This is his own secret home hideout. It's like the Batcave is not the hangout for the Justice League, but Batman has a Batcave.
Okay, fine. They find a place that they all like work together as the Justice League, like they do in the comic books.
Yep, the Hall of Justice.
Anyways,
yep.
So how that works is something happens like bad, and he wants to get the Justice League together, or like you make it more suspenseful and shit. But then
you do better than this.
He goes in. It's almost like they started out as if like the Justice League is already put together, and when he goes into the room, Constantine opens up these portals, and then the characters you want to start DCU with. Yeah, you start building movies off of off of that. Well, isn't that what Constantine does? Like wormholes and shit?
He can. It's not,
So that's how they all meet there. And then they go out and do their thing.
Like, take Doctor Strange and make him like a badass.
That's what I was picturing, like what Doctor Strange could do.
there's a I'll recommend a movie to you. It's one you already have access to, so you'll get it for free.
Constantine?
Yeah, but it's a well, no, it's not the
I want to watch it. You guys have made me want to watch it.
you should see the Keanu Reeves one. But the Keanu Reeves one is far more grounded, and it's not actually as magical as his character can be.
I would say it's like a standalone. Don't even think of it like as a superhero or.
I never did. Like I just learned that about 15 minutes ago. Actually,
now there are Constantine movies that I can recommend to you that are so good. So like Doom would be one of them. So like and he partners with Batman in it, so it'll be a character you recognize, easy to follow, super simple. But it'll show you what kind of magics he can do.
Can we go back to my prediction?
Yeah, we didn't interrupt you. You stopped and was like, "What about this?" And I was like, "Yeah, here's what that would be." Do you remember? I was there.
I was finished.
Oh, you're done? Oh, good.
Yeah, I told you
thank
guys my
God.
prediction.
I thought we'd have to keep going. Just kidding. But
You guys are gonna watch this movie and be like, "Oh my God, he was right.
he
He was right about everything."
did it. He knew from the get-go. So he goes to the Fortress of Solitude. Crypto brings him there. He's got the droids that are there to fix him up and make him healthy again. And then you go back into kind of classic trailer stuff where you start seeing the other Justice League members, and this is from the original trailer.
When it comes to the Fortress of Solitude,
Sorry, the middle of my sentence interrupted the beginning of yours.
I was gonna explain it. I was gonna explain to Ty. Is that Fortress of Solitude is like basically like he has all this like Krypton technology and whatnot. Like he can converse with the AI dad in some versions or whatnot, and the robots are basically from Krypton, and that's where they heal.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, like you said, it was like Talk said it was his bat cave, pretty much.
Yeah.
Towards
It's
not just like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Atlantic because no one can find me here.
Yeah.
his old ship had a bunch of Kryptonian technology in it. He has what's called the Codex, which has all of this history of Krypton and like the genes of Kryptonians. So I think the original plan of like Zor-El, his father, was for this to kind of be the way the Kryptonian species could survive and like fix itself. So yes, there's a lot more substance to the Fortress of Solitude, but for context, that was a good breakdown, Cody. But then at 2 minutes 40 seconds, it cuts over to the rest of stuff that we've seen from the original trailer. Nothing new. We see a version of Lex Luthor, who I don't think is going to be that. It could be good, but I'm not optimistic. I think that
I've heard rumors.
Ooh, this will be good. No, go ahead. I'm just being a dick.
That Lex Luthor is kind of an incel.
What does that
Yay.
mean?
It's just
It's a derogatory term for people who can't get laid. It means involuntarily celibate.
yeah.
It means you can't like have you can't get out and meet people. That's what it's a derogatory term for like internet people.
I'm going through a little bit of that right now.
You're learning?
Yeah. This movie seems like it's for me.
I'm on Lex Luthor's
I can really
side.
relate to Luthor.
But apparently he also traps his ex-girlfriends and whatnot into this other portal dimension, I think is what they refer to.
Oh, okay.
Towards like,
Damn, Gunn.
yeah. So it's like, oh, he talked.
I hope that's just a rumor. That sucks.
People equated like the movie and filming all this shit started way before the Elon Musk stuff, but people equated Luthor to be like Elon, towards like, oh, he's got 12 fucking ex-wives and 14 fucking kids or whatever, and he's just throwing his exes to the portal dimension. It's like, you can't talk bad about me, bitch.
I love that with money. But we got so the trailer itself, not too much new past the original. I guess the idea is that these are the first like 5 minutes of the film, like him landing and then the crypto dog thing.
Like, I guess it would be the first 4 minutes because like the other half is just the trailer. But yeah, that's how the movie starts out: is Superman falling into the ice
and you had a comment to make about the music.
His puppy. I dig it.
You think the music's that good, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the score.
It makes me want to go save a child.
Wow. That's a lot. You normally do not like saving children.
No, I usually smack him across the face, like stand the fuck up.
I'm pretty sure you have not only not saved any children, but I think there's like 3 or 4 shallow graves that have your name on them.
I see children from poverty all the time.
You aren't in poverty if you're not alive.
We got to get back into this bullying conversation.
We don't have to. It's okay. But short and short of it is that Superman, we're going to have a lot to talk about in the upcoming weeks about Superman. The movie itself could be really good. I'm hopeful that it is a good film. I want more good films. If James Gunn's the guy to do it, fantastic. I'm not that optimistic about Superman. It's not the way I think we should start the DC universe. It's not what I want, but it's what we're going to get, so hopefully it's better than I'm expecting it to be.
I think he's a huge narcissist.
Who? James Gunn? Well, he put his own dog in his own CGI Tamagotchi dog into the fucking movie.
Yeah. It's not Superman. It was like Superman Legacy, I think was the original name. It's not that anymore. It's James Gunn's Superman.
That sounds about right.
And
I mean,
it's James Gunn's DCU.
In fairness,
Like, he's in charge of everything.
Zack Snyder, Man of
That's
Steel,
his dog.
Zack Snyder, Justice League.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it's not new.
yeah.
It's not just him. I mean, it's pretty commonplace for directors to be like, Ridley Scott's this, right? Steven Spielberg's that.
And he inserted his own dog into the fucking movie.
Yeah, the story of his dog bouncing on him while he was trying to save the planet. Yeah.
James Gunn was trying to save the planet, and his dog was nipping at his heels.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.